Part 6 of our Buzz Bubble special feature with Alex Bogusky at the Fearless Cottage. Now back to our host, Kevin Kelly.
Just kind of mine a combination of the folks from...
What do you got there?
The folks from the college in Canada.
They always have good questions.
Yeah, great questions.
Seneca College.
Seneca College, that's it. They're great. They submitted some stuff on Twitter. Thank you. One of those moments that, as the agency grew, you remember one that was most significant? I know you said it's hard. You know that you're not even looking, and you went from 60 to 900. But are there any milestone moments that you're like, this was one of those things that really kind of helped us move to the next level?
There are a bunch of milestones that, when we decided not to, there's sacrifices that you have to make. And you know, just in terms of modeling, we were trying to model ourselves after Fallon, and Fallon grew by becoming local, then regional, then national. And we were very stuck on the regional piece, so we decided we'll go after, or if we have the choice between a small national account and a large local one or regional one, we'll choose the small national one. So at some point we decided to make ourselves a tiny national agency and see if that was scalable. And it turned out that that was a big decision. It was a good decision. And then the other one was the Florida anti-tobacco settlement. It was the first time we really had I think the budget was like $16 million. So $16 million spent all in Florida. You know, for us that was an enormous amount of money at the time. And we were able to, all those ideas that we had been percolating around, we were able to execute them with a little bit of dough and create some proof points that, hey, maybe this does work.
Right? Well, the Truth campaign was, I call it definitive. I mean, it's such a great campaign, such a big change. I think you called it
for us.
One of the first most successful social media campaigns.
I mean, I have repeated that, but it's been referred to as the most successful social marketing campaign.
I would agree. One other from the students, anything you think they should be teaching that they weren't
schools?
teaching? Yeah, that they weren't teaching, or they weren't even teaching a couple years ago. Something that's probably not on the curriculum that they've got to.
I always think that the things that are most interesting about advertising are not in advertising. Yeah, I've never been very interested in advertising. And the reason why is if you're talking about advertising, you're kind of talking to yourself. Like advertising's, it's set. It's an industry that is only dynamic in how it reacts to other industries. We work for other industries, right? So if you're not really fascinated in what's going on in media, if you're not really fascinated in what's going on with corporations at large, then I think that you can do fine in advertising, but you're probably missing the real point, which is we're there to empower this larger change. And you got to kind of understand that change and where it might go and where it might be going. And I think that agencies may find themselves in a bit of a sticking point right now. So if I was in school, I would definitely be getting educated about those macro trends, the redistribution of power, radical transparency, corporate structure, short-term corporate goals, stockholder primacy. Like there's a lot there's a lot of context to a career in advertising that I guarantee they're not teaching in the advertising class. And they shouldn't. They can't. It's up to you to get interested in those things. And then the other thing I would say is I've always thought philosophy and advertising are kind of the same thing. So at least if you're a creative person, take some philosophy classes.
How about psychology? Definitely.
I think so, but I think that psychology, it could be valuable. As a designer,
is that almost the shifty part of? It's like,
yeah, you wouldn't want to just know how to manipulate somebody. I think,
and that's where it was for years, though. I just want to make sure I hit that one point. That
the psychology
triggers
stuff,
the buying.
Yeah, that gives me the creeps a little bit. The philosophy, though, as you design a campaign, each campaign has its own philosophy, its set of rules that govern it. So you don't realize that when you're first doing it, but over time, you start to realize, wow, this is all philosophy, really. Like motoring is a philosophy, right?
Right.
Truth is a philosophy. It was a different philosophy about tobacco, which is the industry's manipulating you. It's cool if you smoke, cool if you don't. We're not going to judge that, but you should know the story, right, about this manipulation. That's a philosophy. The anti-tobacco that came before that was a different philosophy, which is you should know that this will kill you. Well, if you're actually a teen and you're trying to take control of your life, right, that philosophy is not going to be a very effective one in trying to get somebody not to smoke. In fact, it will backfire.
Right.
Yeah. So, I think philosophy is really, and it's fun.
That, kids?
Learn philosophy. If you get into philosophy a little bit too, and you realize people have thought about the really essential aspects of being human and what it means to be human. And they had the answers. Like, not only will you learn how to do ads, which is cool, but you'll potentially learn some really fundamental stuff about your place in the world and how to be happy and good stuff like that.
Start with family. We'll kind of wrap up with the family. As you have gone through this transition, I saw the quote from Anna. As you're tiptoeing into the future, I won't write down as audacious a goal as I would like, because I'm afraid. He tells me about his new chapter, and this is your son and daughter call it Project Daddy Gets His Balls Back.
Yeah.
And then you're searching for the Soften the Fuck Up bumper sticker.
Yeah.
Have you found that one yet?
Have not seen that one, no. Not seen that bumper
I know a good
sticker.
designer that could make one.
I was thinking, the Soften the Fuck Up thing was kind of funny, and I think I'm inappropriate for Fast Company now. I think that maybe there should be a new magazine called Slow Company. There's slow food, there's slow, there's all these slow, and I really think this is like,
right there.
Yeah, this is Slow Company right here. We want to do great, audacious things, as long as it doesn't mean we have to work Fridays, right? That's Slow Company.
I like that. I can get behind that.
That's Slow Company. Well, my kids, we think that, Ballad of Ricky Bobby?
Yes.
Yeah. We think that film...
Quoted that in the agency just last Friday.
Did you? That film is...
You're not first, you're last.
That film is great philosophy. It is a philosophical stroke of genius, and I think that almost all the answers to life's questions are in that film.
I'm going to have to rewatch that from a new perspective.
You'll be
like
amazed.
Animal Farm.
But there's that one part where they say, do it, Dad. Go fast again. Get your balls back. And so that's where it came from. Project Dad Gets His Balls Back.
I like that. Well, I think that's a good enough ending.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Alex, thank you so much for inviting me down to the cottage. It's wonderful.
Thanks for
it's
coming.
Peaceful. It is slow. I would enjoy being slow here on a regular basis.
Should we turn the camera around?
Yeah,
so
we're gonna.
We got our own fearless park over here.
Turn this
Turn this around so you can see.
what you look off at
So
the front porch.
Yeah.
Slow
company.
Behind the trees. Is
I would zoom
place.
if I could, but I can't.
I'll do some B-roll. Thank you very much. It was
Yeah.
a real pleasure. Thanks again.
Good to have you.
Have a great year.
Here at the
We'll see you at the
cottage.
same time next year.
You want to do this? Once a year?
Sure, once a year. That'd be
Once a year? That
We'll
would be
check in.
fun. Yeah. Hopefully we're still open.
That's a good Alan Alda movie.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I know that movie.
Yeah?
Kind of weird.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. Let's not
was
do
an
that.
Alan Alda. No.
That would mean we sleep
Well, no,
together.
Yeah. That's not what goes on.
Yeah, cut that.
That's it for part 6 with Alex Bogusky at the Fearless Cottage.
Do you know why I came to America, Ricky Bobby?
Because you wanted to drink from the waters of the mighty Colorado River as it rushes through the Grand Canyon? Because you wanted to see a bald eagle in person? To have a chalupa? And marvel at the wisdom of George W. Bush? I mean, the same reason anyone comes to America.